Hi everyone, my name is Stephanie, and this is my Ways to Engage Students assignment. Just to start off, I know that it talked a little bit about COVID and the different protocols and how teachers are working to engage their students, if their students are virtually, if they're in class. Luckily for, I think, mostly all of us at this point, our students are all face-to-face now. We don't have virtual anymore. We don't have, some are virtual, some are in class. So it's safe to say that, like I said, most of our students are, or all of our students are going to be in the classroom this year. So a way that I always make sure that my students are engaged is I make learning fun for them. And I like to ask my students, what topics are you interested in? What do you guys want to learn? So then I can kind of take what I have to teach them and then what they're interested in, I can kind of mesh it together to make sure that my students are a little bit more engaged in class. I think that something else that's really important is to get to know your students on a more personal level. Get a clear understanding of what they're interested in, their likes, their dislikes, so then you can kind of make lessons around that. It's also really important to make sure that you're engaging your students by making all of them participate. And when I say participate, I know that when I was a student, I really, really disliked standing up in front of the class and presenting a project. So I don't really mean making them participate in that sense, but I do just want to make sure that all of my students are answering questions when they're called on and participating in group discussions. So again, a way that I make sure my students are engaged isn't by making them come and stand up in front of the class. That is just my perspective. How do I encourage students' intrinsic motivation? So from the different readings, I learned that this is when students are performing a specific behavior for their own sake. And for example, again, from the readings, it said to experience pleasure or satisfy one's curiosity. So encourage students to work with one another and collaborate is a great way that I can encourage this in my classroom. And I've learned that students thrive on the ideas of their peers. So I like to allow my students to share thoughts and I like to help them, and that helps them in building their confidence. So I like to put them in groups and piggyback off of one another's ideas. And like I said, it does help with their confidence. Group activities are another thing that I like to do to help motivate them. And again, I like students to share their thoughts and their feelings with one another. And then as far as the ethics of learning goes, I learned that from the readings and the article that this is respecting everyone and everyone's thoughts and feelings. So a way to do this is to students can follow classroom rules and understand that everybody needs to work together as a class to get things done effectively. And I also think that students should really behave in a professional manner in school at all times. So that is a little bit of my thoughts on all of this, and I look forward to hearing your responses.